Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to dive into a truly awe-inspiring new scientific framework. It's one that actually bridges the gap between hard physics and our deeply subjective, everyday human experience. We're looking at a fascinating 2025 paper by independent researcher Masashi Awata, which introduces something called Qualia Relativity Theory. And listen, this isn't just some incremental little update to quantum mechanics. No, this is a complete reimagining of reality that puts you, the observer, right at the mathematical center of the cosmos. So let's kick things off with a completely mind-bending question about the very nature of the universe we live in. We usually think of relativity, where everything is fragmented into isolated individual viewpoints, and oneness, a unified singular field of existence, as total opposites, right? Like, do we really have to choose between a universe of isolated viewpoints and a unified field of oneness? Because for decades, science and philosophy have basically treated these as completely conflicting paradigms. But as Masashi Awata brilliantly argues in his paper, these concepts are actually just two sides of the same cosmic coin. The paper boldly states, and I love this, relativity and oneness are not opposites. Relativity is the way oneness experiences itself. It's such a profound shift in perspective. Think about it. The isolation we sometimes feel isn't a flaw or a glitch in the universe. It's actually the very mechanism through which the universe is able to experience anything at all. Which brings us right into Section 1, Relativity and Oneness are one. To see how this revolutionary idea builds on physics, we need to look at what's called Concordance Dynamics. Awata embeds his theory within this broader framework, which proposes that reality isn't just a collection of dead matter bumping into itself in some cold, dark void. Instead, it's this deeply interconnected informational field that's constantly seeking alignment. It has an intrinsic drive to harmonize. So the universe is a dynamic, self-restoring system of coherence, and absolutely everything in it is participating in that grand balancing act. Now, to understand just how radical this is, we have to look back at Einstein for a second. Einstein taught us that space and time bend based on physical motion and mass, which we call kinematic relativity. Well, Awata takes this a massive step further. He suggests an experiential relativity. He proposes that the very geometry of experience bends based on our internal awareness. Under this framework, the universe physically and experientially manifests differently, based entirely on the observer's internal alignment and configuration of consciousness. Wild, right? Let's move on to Section 2, Geometry of Experience and Subjective Sensations. Okay, let's dive into exactly what this geometry of experience actually means for you and me on a Tuesday morning. You know that distinct, undeniable feeling of seeing the color red, or tasting a crisp apple, or just feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin? In philosophy, those subjective sensations are called qualia. And usually, science really struggles to explain them, often just writing them off as biological illusions. But Qualia Relativity Theory says no way. Qualia are far more significant. They are literally the shape of the universe. They are the specific geometry through which oneness is experiencing itself from your totally unique perspective. Your sensations are literally the universe taking form. So how does the math work? Let's hit Section 3, Concordance Dynamics, the mathematical engine. To truly grasp this, we do need to look at the math, but don't worry, we're going to keep it super accessible. It all starts with the concordance potential, represented by the variable c. You can think of concordance potential as the baseline harmony of the universe. It's this massive underlying scalar field of unified possibilities just waiting to be experienced. Basically, it's the oneness before it gets sliced up into individual bite-sized moments of reality. Next up is the Stance Tensor. Mathematically, sure, it's a symmetric rank 2 tensor, but conceptually, just think of it like the configuration of a camera lens. It represents exactly how your specific consciousness focuses its attention to make reality meaningful. Just like twisting a camera lens changes what comes into sharp, clear focus and what blurs out into the background, your stance tensor determines which aspects of the universe's infinite potential become your concrete, lived reality. And looking at the definitions mapped out in Awata's framework right here, you can see the exact relationship between the concordance potential and that stance tensor we just talked about. Along with the Qualia differential, they work together seamlessly to mathematically project the informational dynamics of the universe directly into the realm of our perception. It's a rigorous, non-dual scientific expression that shows exactly how the invisible harmony of the cosmos translates into the vivid sensory world you navigate every single day. All right, let's jump to Section 4, Experiential Gravity and Focus. Let's see how configuring that internal camera lens creates an entirely new kind of gravity. We all know physical gravity, right? It describes the attraction of mass within space-time. It's what keeps your coffee cup on the desk. But Awata introduces experiential gravity. Instead of mass pulling objects together, experiential gravity is a gradient of realignment. Honestly, it's kind of like a gradient of remembrance. It's a directional vector that guides our isolated individual experiences back toward a state of cosmic coherence and oneness. It's the universe naturally, gently pulling your consciousness toward harmony. Now this completely flips standard quantum physics on its head. In traditional quantum mechanics, we always talk about the wave function collapsing when we observe something, as if we're somehow destroying possibilities. But here, decoherence is reinterpreted as focalization. Reality isn't collapsing, it's simply being focused. Your unique conscious stance selects a specific, coherent phase out of the total field of possibilities. And those other possibilities, they don't disappear at all. They just remain latent in the background. You're just taking a dynamic slice of the oneness field and bringing it into high resolution. Let's bring it all home in Section 5, the self-aligning universe, a unified conclusion. Bringing all these profound layers together, just like this integration table from the paper shows. The Concordance Dynamics framework operates on multiple levels. You've got the structural foundation, the mediation variables, and the background laws. But Qualia Relativity Theory acts as the observational projection layer. It is the exact point of translation. It's where the unified, non-local field of information literally projects itself and becomes your personal, subjective, everyday reality. So the absolutely crucial point here, which is beautifully summarized in this quote from the conclusion, is that reality is not a static structure. It's a self-restoring dynamic of experiential alignment, meaning you are not just a passive witness trapped inside a cold, static universe, looking at things from the outside in. No, you are the active coherence interface of the universe itself. We are the aperture of the universe. Just let that sink in for a second. Your consciousness, your subjective qualia, your memories, your focus, your very life, these are the literal apertures through which the cosmos is looking back at itself. You are quite literally how the universe feels its own variations. I really want to leave you with this provocative thought to ponder today. If you're not just a separate being living in the universe, but rather the universe brilliantly focusing on itself through your specific, unique lens, how does that shift your perception of your daily reality? Seriously, the next time you experience something, anything at all, even the most mundane thing, remember that it's the cosmos experiencing itself. I hope this explainer has sparked your curiosity to go out and explore the profound depths of your own experience. Thanks so much for diving into this with me.